first vocal playing podcast with Sean and Rooster.
Right, so we got Mr. Furlong right there. We got Maury. What's your last name? If you don't. Nice. Well, welcome. So these guys are kind of running the shoot right today. Ko2M.
Yeah, it's the first one. I think it's day one of the first Ko2M went really well.
Ko2M Canada. Yeah.
Ko2M Canada.
Nice.
So it'll be the first one run up here in Canada, so we're excited that it's us running.
And what better place to hold it than in Western Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Kidding.
Yeah.
God's country.
All right on. So why did you guys bring it up to Canada?
Well, we started about 2 years ago talking to some of the representatives from the Cal Association. We actually met those guys at SHOT Show. And we'd expressed interest in bringing it to Canada. Not having SHOT to have it. We had hoped to have those guys here. That was the arrangement that they had made.
And then
Definitely
2020
We'll say that 2020 came, and that little trial by fire here, being thrown into breach to set up a shoot that really we've never even attended before. So we've done a lot of cooperation with the representatives from the United States and other countries, Argentina, who really assisted us in setting this up. We wanted to start this because there's a lot of great shooters in Canada, and we have a really rich history of shooting and hunting in Canada. A lot of guys are seeing what's happening in places like the United States and the success they're having down there, and they're attracted to that. They want to go out and be able to showcase themselves. The United States Ko2M is such a prestige event now.
For sure.
They've been able to basically limit themselves to extremely high caliber shooters asking for previous experience in competition or even previous Ko2M experience. So it hampers a lot of Canadian shooters from attending that event. And having this here in Canada, it allows an opportunity for guys who want to get into the sport an opportunity to showcase themselves at rank internationally. So in the future, if they perform well here in Canada and want to attend a shoot in the United States, they can have this experience and actually put on their little application form that they competed in a Ko2M previously. So it allows them to enter that competition. But we really wanted to give an opportunity for shooters in this country a location. We're not here competing ourselves. We get more out of it, I guess, than running the event and allowing people to come out here to our facility and use our equipment and pass on anything that we can to help those guys improve and get that experience.
For sure. Here. Right on. No, that's stellar, and for you to do that, that's huge, especially giving, like you said, the rich history and giving people a platform to be able to go down to Ko2M now and in the States, and like you said, Argentina. That's huge. That's great. So props to you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The natural talent up here in Canada is phenomenal. Every course we teach, there's a high level of skill there, natural skill that I don't see it. It's definitely not a worldwide phenomenon. It's something that we see here quite often. So to not try and harness that skill level and be able to get these guys to push themselves further and further, I think we're doing an injustice. So running this competition down here, we have the facility to do it. We have the ranges that are required. What's limiting us now is that the calibers we can shoot.
The OIC, yeah.
We're going to hold these guys to the same standard, and I think they'll rise to the occasion. I was really impressed with what I saw today.
So what sort of trends did you see today?
Some of the things I caught up that we could do better, because I like to give constructive criticism.
For sure.
Clearly. learning that wind. The wind is your biggest enemy on long range shooting. If you can master the wind, you'll master long range shooting. And there's some, I think a lot of guys learned stuff today. Maybe not putting on enough wind, or making too bold of corrections, or not bold enough corrections, right? Or like I said earlier, shooting into an area where they're not seeing anything. If you keep shooting into that area, you're still not going to see anything. So you might as well start moving that bullet around and starting to figure out where it is, right? So I think a lot of guys learned a little bit there.
Well, and even sitting here, and Kurt was inside with you guys, and noticing the wind change direction every, 10, 15 minutes, and different speeds too. That's just amplified downrange as well.
100%.
And then you said a funny tidbit at the end there, where guys were making those hits, and then they'd wait.
Yeah.
And when you give that time, like you said, when you give that time in between your shots, so many variables could have changed that
100%.
you could miss, right? So
just a couple seconds, the wind can change from one direction to completely the other direction. So if you get a hit, you got positive confirmation of a hit. That next round needs to be followed up as quickly and as accurately as possible, so that you don't run into that situation where the wind is shifting.
Something I noticed with so many of these shooters, there's so many guys jumping right off that gun right after the shot, and not sticking with it and being ready for that follow-up. Should a spotter call for it, right?
It's another one of my biggest critiques today, the guys individually, was keep that cheek well. Your job as a shooter is to get that round shot down range and get that next round in that chamber as fast as possible, and let the spotter do his job so you're ready to send that shot as fast as you can.
Agreed, yeah.
Another thing I saw today is there's guys here that I've seen shoot before. They were nervous. It's the first time that they've done a competition. But there's a little bit of the mystique, we'll say, with the Ko2 mile because of the job the United States has done in raising the awareness to that competition. So when guys come to compete in something like this, they're nervous, and you could see it today. Guys fumbling with their bolt or their bullets and stuff like that. So if they can come out to a couple of these, know what to expect, get that experience, they'll become better shooters. And that's the whole reason that we're doing these type of competitions. It's the same thing as for you guys when you're doing your PRS matches. You think about the very first match you went to. Did you go into and you're like, oh yeah, no, you're nervous. You got.
You can say fuck on this podcast. We're an adult.
but you got those jitters, right?
Yeah.
We all had it in competition. So.
Well, and as soon as you put a time to it too, that alone adds another variable that you got to think about. And like me, like this, I'm very new to the precision game, and coming in from 3-gun, as soon as you have a stage plan, you're ready to go. All of a sudden, that buzzer goes beep, and it's just blank. Like
the guys that can keep their heart rate down.
Yeah.
And stay calm.
Yeah.
Just work their way through it like they do every other time around range. Those guys are going to be successful.
Well, and you saw it today. You saw it with Shane and Steve and some of the guys who actually put points on the board. But you can see that they were more calm, more cool, more level-headed,
and paced through that night.
Yeah, they worked through everything really calm and smooth. They just skipped ahead a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And they'd be winning this race.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, Steve?
It does happen. It does happen. Get excited. Hey, we got some points on the board. Hey,
That's
let's
right.
keep moving on.
That's right.
I'm done.
That's better than I thought I'd do.
Yeah. There you go.
Shot well.
No, I from what I saw today, I think it went very well. This is our first time running the event. Plus, it's all the competitors that are attending. It's the first time doing an event.
For
like
sure.
this. The mistakes that were made that I saw today, I'll say 50% of the shooters that struggled to put points on the board wasn't due to the fact that they were incapable of doing it. They were either too nervous, their heart was too high. I watched one team shoot one round, missed their cold bore, and then shot 12 rounds consecutively at target number 1 without making a single correction. And I said to the team,
Really?
I said, what was your culminating point telling you? If you couldn't see anything, maybe you were far left or far right, but what was your culminating? I never even thought of looking. So right there, that told me he was so amped up and so nervous because, as a spotter, you have that sense of responsibility. I'm responsible because he's missing right now, and he gets so nervous, and it's like, fuck,
Yeah.
it's
Probably
my
wants
fault.
to take over.
Well, and every single shot, that just gets worse and worse and worse because you still can't get that sight picture. And
stress
Yeah.
takes over. He forgets his basic fundamentals as a spotter, and could have simply just looked up. Oh, okay, my culminating point. I'm way right. So I'm just going to give him a gross correction left. But we didn't see it. So
No.
I think a lot of it just was
That works both ways, though, not just for the shooter, but for the spotter. When the shooter's missing and the spotter's back there, he can't see anything. Well, now the spotter's, it feels like he's letting the shooter down.
Definitely.
And he's not. But he does need to take the bull by the horns and start moving that bullet around to get that impact right. And when you get the spotter amped up, and now he's under stress, he's incapable of doing his job properly.
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's everybody, the whole team needs to just slow it down and just cool off a little bit, right?
And you could see the build-up of frustration
Yeah, you can.
as the
Certainly,
as the
yeah.
misses would pile up.
The stories
Because-
start stacking up.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry, man. I'm
We
not-
started the morning doing like, hey, can we do a quick post interview? And the first team that came off, they didn't do that well. They're like, fuck off, like get out of my face. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this now. So
And you know what? You take that as nothing personal.
No,
because
for sure.
that guy probably has practiced the
Yeah.
last 3 or 4 months. You know, the expense of coming down to 10, and then that disappointment. So you go
Yeah.
back and talk to him now, he'd probably apologize. But we've all been in that situation.
Oh, for sure.
Where you get so agitated with yourself, and maybe even your partner. Yeah, I can
We've
see
all
where
done
we're
that
coming-
with
yeah.
our
Shane makes me do that all the time. So
Expect better of yourself. So you're mad at the world for a period, and move on.
But
Well,
overall, I think today went pretty good. It went as expected.
Nice.
We figured we would have this type of, we'll say, points lost.
Yeah. We worked through a
for
lot
sure.
of the possible scenarios that could go wrong on our end, and I think we nipped them all in the butt because we didn't have any issues. We had a couple issues with the cameras, but I mean, spotting was no trouble today. So,
well, you guys got a heck of a facility here too. Like this is top notch.
there's a lot of work went into this.
No kidding.
I can see that.
There's lots more we want to do, but quite often you can shoot every year.
Definitely wasn't what I was expecting. That's for sure. But
The location was the big thing. Is finding something that's so remote that you don't have to worry about running into issues.
yeah, that's the worst. Is having a range and then neighbors. That's no neighbor
Which
likes
is
being beside a
obviously not a
range.
problem.
That's right. You just got to worry about that Holstein coming across the yard. Yeah, the antelope. Yeah, exactly.
You got a good spot to hang out.
Yeah, I wonder how many of these guys that missed those targets out there could connect on a damn antelope.
Yeah.
If it's got a heartbeat, it's
Yeah.
going down.
Right on the tip.
So what are you guys expecting out of tomorrow then?
I think that there's going to be a lot of lessons learned today. Because now you're going to have the spotter will be shooting tomorrow on a lot of these teams, and I think they're going to work out their bugs. I think we'll see as much or more success tomorrow than we saw today. That's my guess. You know, everyone realizes
They've gathered some data now, right?
right, and they figured out what the mishaps they had today or the things they stumbled over today, and they'll work that out tomorrow.
Sure.
The heart rates will be lower tomorrow. They already seen how it runs in day one, and I think tomorrow will be more successful. And then day 3, I think it'll be even better yet.
I think the partner who shot today will pass on that experience and stuff to his shooters as a good partner would. So I'm hoping tomorrow morning that we'll see a few more points on the board. But the Mirage here definitely kicked up today. And
Oh yeah.
for guys who aren't used to shooting in Mirage, I think that really threw them for a loop. So,
Mirage can be an enemy, but can be your best friend too. So another thing I've seen today is guys weren't reading that Mirage properly. You know, that Mirage would pick up, the wind's picking up. You can tell what the wind's doing down there just by watching the Mirage. And if you're not watching that Mirage constantly and making even last minute changes to what you're about to do, it can bite you in the ass. So Sunday it's supposed to be a little cooler. We might beat the Mirage a little bit, but it might bite the guys in the ass in the end a little bit too, because they're not going to be able to see what the wind's
definitely.
really doing.
the guys in the morning definitely get the advantage here.
Yeah,
you
I
can see
still
the
think
wind
it's good that way when you split them up like this. Then everybody gets a hole rather than continue on through into the end.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow.
It's great.
Let's go have a drink now. Okay.